In the film, Pocahontas senses she's on the verge of a great personal discovery. She believes that something is waiting for her just around the river bend. Making a Disney animated feature is a journey filled with discovery for everyone. The artists, animators, and all of the technicians who work behind the scenes. Each new film has its own unique set of challenges that must be overcome before the final product can be put before the public. There is no instruction manual on how to do it. Each project is a new experience. So, what is the secret? How do the Disney artists keep making such good movies?
And I think part of the magic of Disney animation is the fact that one goes through an evolutionary process of it doesn't work, 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 and finally it works, with changing it over and over again. I think the secret is being open to change. Never get married to your own ideas.
I can't draw without really feeling it and believing it. Eric Larson, one of the old timers in animation, kept saying to me, "Glenn, you've got to animate with sincerity." Okay, animate with sincerity. I put my pencil down the paper, and what does that mean? Do you press harder on the pencil? Do you grit your teeth more? I mean, what is sincerity? And as I listened to these guys talk about Pinocchio and Snow White, and I found out that they weren't referring to cartoon characters. These were real people that they knew. They just happened to be drawings. When I first started, I thought animation was about a lot of moving drawings. And I find that that's not what it's about. It's not about moving drawings. It's about drawings that move people.
Supervising animator John Pomeroy is a history buff who has done extensive reading about early America, including the actual autobiographical writings and journals of the real Captain John Smith.
It's the amount of substance that the animator will craft into the character. Sometimes it's obvious and sometimes it's hidden. But it radiates a certain spirit or life force that convinces the viewer that this two-dimensional artwork is alive, living, and breathing. Consequently, we get the audience to bite off on it, and we engage in that wonderful, willing suspension of disbelief.
The supervising animator for Governor Ratcliffe found a way to create personality from geometry.
Well, largely he's greedy and corrupt, and he sort of represents an effete aristocracy. So we translate those character traits into geometrical shapes, and that's basically how it arrives. In the earlier versions of Ratcliffe, he was much more pear-shaped. As we realized he was turning into more of a nasty villain in development, we raised his center of gravity to his chest, so he seems more pompous and nasty and arrogant and physically menacing.
We will eliminate these savages once and for all.
You like it, eh?
Meiko's supervising animator, Nick Ranieri, drew his inspiration from himself.
I think you just basically put yourself into that position. It sounds cliche, but you actually have to become the character. And Pocahontas says something to you, how would you react without actually saying something? You get upset, considering you think of your personality as I'm always hungry, and she says this to me. Or John Smith doesn't have any more biscuits, and I'm like, you know, I'm really upset. I just sort of try to get it from within and use whatever acting skills I have.
Dave Brooksma studied films on hummingbirds to come up with all the right moves for Flit.
I studied hummingbirds to determine how they moved and what made a hummingbird unique in its movement. And then I tried to adapt a personality to fit that, a nervous staccato movement. And I did a several second test of Flit on a twig where he's looking around and reacting to things off stage. And when many of the lead people at the studio saw that, they realized that this character could come alive. And on the strength of that test, he was added to the story.
Some animators are inspired by the performance of the actor playing the part of the character they're drawing. Some animators look to other classic Disney films for inspiration, while others research and experiment and think about the character they're working on for a very long time. But veteran Disney animator Ruben Aquino, supervising animator of Powhatan, has learned to trust magic.
It feels great, especially when the audience reacts the way you hoped they would react. You know, if they laugh at the right places and sigh at the right places, or go cheering at the right places, it's a great feeling. It's like you created magic, you know. Although you hear that word all the time, it's still a word we use all the time when we're talking about what we do, because we still have that pixie dust, you know.
Early Native Americans used drums to communicate. Their rhythms carried messages and were full of meaning. In Pocahontas, there are 7 new songs from Academy Award-winning composer Alan Menken and Tony Award-winning lyricist Stephen Schwartz. These songs help communicate what the characters are thinking and feeling. They're songs that carry messages and are full of meaning. Ever since The Little Mermaid, Alan Menken has been giving his own kind of special meaning to Disney animated films through his Academy Award-winning musical scores. The successful partnership with the Walt Disney Studios has continued through Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and now Pocahontas. He knows how important it is to be brought into each new project from the start.
You really want to tell the story through song and conceive a score that creates a world, that opens up a whole world. And so you can't do that kind of thing just overlaid over another story. You need to be right there from the very beginning.
We'll look through the whole story of the show and say, okay, well, I think we'll do a song there, and this should probably be a song for the villain here, and so on. And it's however many songs the piece seems to need.
There's not much difference between writing animated films and the stage. You basically still have to tell a very similar kind of story.
Just around the river bend, just around the river bend, I look once more.
When Pocahontas realizes that she's different, that she wants something more, that's a musicalization moment. And Just Around the River Bend is the song that she sings there.
Just around the river bend.
Another memorable Menken-Schwartz song from Pocahontas is a beautiful love ballad, If I Never Knew You, performed by Shanice Wilson and John Cicada.
I'd have lived my whole life through, lost forever, if I never knew you.
I've been a big fan of all the animated films that Disney has done in the last few years. I think they're magical. They really are.
Lost forever, if I never knew you.
And the first song we wrote was Colors of the Wind. It's a very good song. You can feel those things.
Have you?
Colors obviously felt like an important song from an important project.
I guess I'm really proud of Colors of the Wind. I like it when I'm able to find a way to say something in an unexpected but very simple way.
You can own the earth and still all you'll own is earth until you can paint with all the colors of the wind.
Sometimes, during the process of creative discovery, a few things might just happen. The animators call them creative accidents, but unfortunately they are rare. Typically, the magic of Disney animation is the result of hard effort, tireless experimentation, and a commitment to continually push the work forward to achieve the best result possible. Each Disney animator has their own unique way of solving creative problems. But regardless of the method they choose to reach their goal, all of the creative people we've met here really enjoy what they're doing. And that's the greatest secret of all, because making Disney's Pocahontas was truly a labor of love. I'm Irene Bendard, and thank you for watching.